Therapy Army, welcome to the official Therapy Army. Please tell me a couple of things tonight. I want to know, am I going to be overreacting here like a silly man? Or was that absolute shocking, right? Was it that Wolves are our bogey team? Wolves are our bogey team. Or is it that we're just fatigued from last season, like I predicted? Please, somebody tell me. To me, what I saw tonight, guy called Nunes, Gomez, Cornea, bully Manchester United. The first half was a snooze. We even went from bad to worse. At times, Wolves looked like they were the better team. Shout out Unana tonight. Shout out Unana tonight for saving Manchester United the 3 points. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I'll go to you first, Yasser, because I don't know. Is it Wolves are a bogey team? Well, on that performance, Wolves are not going down. They just need to go and get a goal scorer. Wolves are not going down. They're not going down on that performance. And if they do go down, club. If they do go down, they're a banter club because they come and perform like that at Old Trafford, and then for them to go down. But Yasser, I'll come back to you. Sort the phone out. Sean, talk to me.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm pissed as hell, man. I'm pissed as hell. I think to an extent you're right that Wolves is a bit of a bogey team for us. Sorry, you're right that Wolves is a bit of a bogey team for us.
Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just saying. I think you're right to an extent that Wolves is a bit of a bogey team for us. But I sent you a DM. Like I don't know. I was extremely irritated with what I saw this game, and I think we there was one preseason game that we had that I came on to talk today to you and the viewers and everything, and I think I said the same sentiment. When everyone was complaining about Maguire, McTominay, De Gea, people that need to get out of the team, I kept hammering our starting 11 itself. There are some shortcomings there. Bruno, Rashford, Anthony, that attack is toothless. Our midfield is not going to work. I don't know what the hell Ten Hag is thinking. Like my message essentially was that I don't trust the manager anymore. This is not me saying Ten Hag out, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to every single game with no expectations because I don't know what the fuck this guy is doing. Bruno and Mount in midfield will never ever work. We look completely out of our depth. Like, what the hell had we been doing in training? What have we been doing in preseason? We're supposed to come to this game full of passion, full of excited. Wolves were faster than us. They were stronger than us. They wanted every single tackle more than us. They were first to every second ball. So what the hell are we doing? Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, we're supposed to go away to Tottenham and Arsenal in the next 2 games and get anything out of those 2 games. I don't see where where our prospects basically or what our prospects are going forward. I'm extremely disappointed with this game. People might say it's the first game of the season, too early to talk. No, I don't. I think it has to be either Bruno or Mount. Personally, both of them cannot play. Casemiro needs to wake the fuck up. Somebody needs to tell Rashford that he has not arrived yet. Somebody needs to explain to Rashford that he has not arrived yet. He has not achieved anything. He has not won anything. You cannot end your career having scored 30 goals and have that be the height of your career. That's a failure, in my opinion. So somebody needs to tell him you're not arrived yet. Somebody needs to tell Anthony that this is not freaking Ajax or the favelas of Brazil. Shout out to you as a hard guy or whatever, but step up. This is not the game that we're here to play. And Bruno needs to wake up. Like, he's supposed to be the captain, basically, but he was one of the worst players on the pitch today. I don't know, man. I'm upset. I don't see where our positives can come from going forward. And every single game, I'm going into it with my eyes open. No hope, no expectations, whatever. Whatever we see, I'm just going to take it.
Go ahead, Yasir. And then we'll go to Lesso. Big up, everybody. Listen, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, people. Because I'm telling you now, every 15 minutes, Casemiro kept aging 10 years. By every 10, 15 minutes, he was aging 10 years. It was absolutely, and people were coming for me when I told you all from the season before. I'm not carrying any agenda, but I think that preseason, them flying everywhere, all over the side, that continent, that's the US. I think when they're supposed to be doing fitness and doing proper training, that is what is happened to them. I am telling you now, we're getting smashed. If we don't sort that out, thank God we're not playing in 3 days' time. We're playing in about, 5 days' time?
Yeah.
But go ahead, Yasser. But that was shocking. Shocking.
Yeah.
Gomez, Nunes, Cunha bullied Manchester United tonight. We lost every 50-50, every tackle. Gary Neville saying this. Not that honestly, he's saying this. It was emptied. This is the stat. Manchester United have conceded 23 home shots in the Premier League for the first time since 2005. Unbelievable, FC. Go ahead, Yasser.
I was watching this game. While I was watching this game, it sometimes you get your hopes up for the first game of the season. You watch, especially the fact that Man United played on Monday. We were the last game of the game week 1, so everyone was watching us. Our rival fans, everyone, because it's the only football that was on, was Man United, and I had high expectation. So I'm just gonna touch up on the positives. I thought Onana had a fantastic game. I don't know if people agree with me, but I thought Aaron Wan-Bissaka had a fantastic game as well. I think one thing about Aaron Wan-Bissaka is people just don't give him his plaudits. When Aaron Wan-Bissaka has a bad game, he stands up. When he has a brilliant game, I think people should call it out. Aaron Wan-Bissaka does one thing in the game that in terms of our defense, he was that guy. They went through Luke Shaw's side. They didn't come to Aaron Wan-Bissaka's side. Aaron Wan-Bissaka was not having it today. And then it was his assist today that got us the goal. So shout out to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But here's the thing, guys. I know people are going to criticize Rashford. Let's be honest. Rashford he's a striker. The issue that Man United have for a very long time with striker that we bring in, whether they're quads or not, is a lack of service. We just don't give our striker any service. And Rashford looks better on the left. Like, the whole experience of Rashford playing on the striker, it's just not it, guys. It's just not it. We all see that Rashford is more effective when he goes on the left. He looks better on the left. We don't have a striker, so we don't have Martial. We don't have Holden. We don't have no other striker. So unless we play Sancho as a false 9, I see the same issues. We're gonna have the same issues. Rashford is gonna struggle up front. That's what's gonna happen. He might get his goals, but if you guys think Rashford is a Harry Kane, he's not. He's not a number 9. So that's that. Bruno is Bruno. I think this is just how I think we just gotta accept who Bruno is. Bruno's the type of guy that he might not have a good game for like 90 minutes, but he's gonna do something. He's gonna create something for us. That's what he's. What I call Bruno the effective guy. Bruno's just effective. Bruno doesn't control the tempo of the game. He doesn't dictate the game, but he's effective. When something happens, he's effective. It comes from Bruno. But overall, I just feel like Erik ten Hag has an idea of how he wants to play. It looks like the way he wants to play right now, I don't know if we're ready for that. It seems like he wants Casemiro to be alone in the island by himself. And as much as you can say Casemiro has been aging, no team plays with a single DM. No team does that. Everyone plays with a pivot. To pivot. We've been playing with McFred. There's a reason why we've been playing with McFred for a long time, because in the Premier League, you need a pivot. That's why Chelsea are paying so much money for Lavia and Caicedo, because the pivot is important. The midfield needs help. When you have Mount and Bruno playing as advanced 8, or not even advanced 8, 2 number 10s, and then once we lose the ball, then you have Casemiro all by himself. And Casemiro is not N'Golo Kante. It's not prime Kante. Casemiro, I agree, he's older. So you're even at his, when Casemiro even at his best will still struggle. So, and then that's how I think we have an issue with our wingers. I really do. I was really happy that Garnacho started today, but this is the issue we have. Garnacho starts, Maybe he has a good game, maybe doesn't have a good game. He's still a young player. But then we wouldn't have the issue with this whole Garnacho situation if Sancho was consistent. I don't think the manager trusts Sancho. So, I mean, again, it's like if Sancho was a more consistent player and the manager actually trusted him, then the pressure wouldn't be on an 18-year-old and to play against. I mean, was it Nelson Semedo on the other side? Was absolutely brilliant today. Like, I mean, Wolves in general were fantastic. They were so good today. Shout out to them. Wow. But hey, at the end of the day, we got the 3 points, and hopefully we be better against. We have to be better against Tottenham. Because if we play like this against Tottenham, we will get destroyed. So
big up. Let's so. How did you see that game, brother? Big up to everybody, by the way. Smash a like on the video. There's 220 of you here. Come on, Therapy Army. Like, subscribe, share. And let's get this going because you're going to get it real, raw, and like, that's what you're going to get. Real, raw, and red. This is why you're going to get it on here. We're not going to sugarcoat shit. To me, either Wolves are a magnificent, they're going to have an amazing season. And to me, the two in midfield look like they are levels above Moutinho and the guy that left him and, what's his name, the other guy, Neves, because Gomez and Nunes were amazing tonight. Absolutely amazing. They bullied us. Honestly, I'm telling you, Casemiro's probably worst game in a Manchester United shirt. Absolutely horrendous. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, big up to the panel, by the way, as well. But it is what it is. Like I told you guys, with the whole Mount thing, I didn't understand how we were gonna sign Mount, when we have Bruno. And we're not even thinking about someone like Casado because people are like saying that we're gonna.
One thing I would say, being in the stadium, watching the game live, I actually thought he got stuck in, Mason Mount. He got stuck in. He got back. He made some decent challenges. He ran around. He had a bit more energy than Casemiro and Bruno and Rashford. Wan-Bissaka and Mount had a bit more. The quality on the ball is not there because we didn't have the ball. But he got back. But go ahead, brother. Don't let me cut you off.
I mean, I understand Mount, and I've watched Mount for many years, and I just didn't think it would work or balance with the current midfield setup that we have. Not to say he's a bad player in any way. I just didn't think with our current midfield would be able to accommodate him as well. I always thought that it would leave the midfield completely open, which is actually showing just in the first game, and I saw that in preseason as well. So I thought we would have been more suited to having Casado instead of Mount. It would have made sense to actually buy Casado over Mount because Mount could have. I mean, Casado and Casemiro would have been a more solid midfield. We would be able to cover for each other, and it wouldn't leave Casemiro in a vulnerable state because at the moment we're leaving him vulnerable. Most of the game he was vulnerable. He was very much exposed. At Real Madrid, you had Modric, you had Kroos, you had people who were good ball retention, were good at ball retention. They were good at passing the ball, and they were good at actually doing the hard work as well. But the game was poor, man. And I have this fear about it where he may move Bruno now to the right, just to be able to somewhat stop the rot. I'm telling you, that's exactly what he might do, because this is what I feared, especially when I saw him doing it during preseason. I was like, you know what, this is a contingency plan, because now if he sees that this Mount and Mount and Bruno isn't working, that's what he's gonna do to try and actually make the midfield more compact and make it more solid. Because I mean, there's no other options at the moment. We don't have another midfielder whom we can double pivot with Casemiro. That was never the plan, anyways, for Ten Hag. Ten Hag wanted 2 10s. He wanted 2 10s and playing with the 6. He didn't want an 8, a 6, and a 10. He didn't want that. So unfortunately, in today's game, you cannot play with 2 10s as the gentleman said above. You can't be doing that, because you're leaving your midfield wide open. City don't even play like that as well. So it's something that he needs to solve very quickly. Otherwise, it's gonna be it's gonna be curtains. The Premier League is very competitive and things can go left very easily. We could get a couple of drubbings if we play the way we played today. I can see us getting a couple of drubbings like we did last season against certain teams. It's very much clear because you cannot play like that and get away with it like we did today. You cannot. So yeah, man. But with Wolves, with regards to Wolves, it just shows you when you have a good midfield what happens. They dominated us because they have a good midfield. People don't see these sort of things. The midfield is your spine. Your midfield is your spine.
Guy's a player. The Matthias Nunes.
Yeah.
What the? I genuinely love that player.
I don't like this
Yeah.
narrative that we're setting up now, trying to paint Wolves as if we're talking about Barcelona or Madrid here. I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. I don't think Wolves are gonna go off to have a fantastic season. I expect them to be in the bottom half of the fighting for relegation. We were terrible today. Like we were shit completely. It wasn't as if Wolves were fantastic. We were shit because our manager, for some reason, is solving further maths, is doing physics when it's supposed to be trying to just play simple fucking football. It's not that complicated. This idea of 2-10s or whatever that he's trying to do, it's gobbledygook. It's nonsense. I don't. I think Yassine was saying like you can tell how I couldn't tell what the tactics was. How are we playing today? I did not understand what the game plan is. Sometimes Luke Shaw was the center back. Sometimes Martinez was the center back. Sometimes Martinez was playing left wing. Sometimes this person was playing. It was all over the freaking place. Again, I keep trying to point out and highlight that the manager is the one ultimately responsible. So if we wake up tomorrow and see Bruno Fernandes playing on the right, that's not a question for Bruno to answer. It's not a question for me or you to answer. The person who needs to answer for that action is the manager, plain and simple. And again, this idea that Rashford, can only play on the left, or Bruno can only play in one position. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I don't understand why, as a professional footballer who is making over £150,000 a week, you cannot put in at minimum a 6/10 performance in another position. Minimum 6/10. Come on, Rashford, give us at least 6/10. That means 6/10 for Rashford. Simply don't run into a blind alley. Don't take the ball, run into three Wolves players. Don't forget where your feet is. Essentially, when you're trying to figure out this thing, I'm sorry. Like I know people are saying this. I'm not optimistic at all. Like what I saw today was terrifying. Against Tottenham, we would have conceded more goals. Against Arsenal, if you play like this against Arsenal, it's gonna be 3 or 4, and it's gonna be tragic. Like and that is too early in the season for us to be having this type of nonsense. Ten Hag needs to wake the fuck up, like big time, because he's jonesing. He's sleeping on at the wheel at the moment.
But the issue is, you saw Ten Hag last season. Our first 2 games, this is what this guy does. He's very stubborn. He does things that doesn't. I feel like with a lot of our fans, we know it's not going to work. I think what he did was he did a double pivot of was it Ericsson, and I forgot who started. I think Fred. I think against both Brentford and
No, yeah, first game of the season, he played Ericsson as false 9, something silly like that, and we lost.
The first 2 games of last season, I think he played Fred and Eric. I think he played Ericsson as a number 6.
No, he played McFred and then played Ericsson, as false 9, Bruno behind him.
Yes. So it's like the thing is with Ten Hag is he does this where like I think he has something in his mind that thinks it will work, but then again the Premier League is it really is like it's a rude awakening. Like you cannot
listen. Yes, sir. We're gonna need more than a rude awakening. That was daylight robbery. Listen, that's a daylight robbery. But big up to everybody. It's over 300 of you. Please smash a like on the video, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Here we get real people. For me, is it Wolves are our bogey team? Is it the fact that Manchester United were gallivanting from East Coast to West Coast to here? Loads of traveling, loads of plane journeys. Is it the fact that he played the same team all of that last season and the fatigue carries on like he did with Liverpool when Liverpool went for 4 fucking trophies like the season before last? And then they are absolutely fatigued. A lot of their players were fatigued and gone and done after that, right? Could it be that? What could it be tonight? Could it be that Wolves are a bogey team and they're going to have a fantastic season? They've actually upgraded That Nunes kid, he was playing on the right, I think, or sometimes he was in the middle. He and Cunha and Gomez. I honestly, this Gomez guy, first time I've ever seen him play live, and he was breathtaking. Low sense of gravity, hard as a rock, bullied Manchester United. Bruno, sit down. Come here, Garnacho, sit down. Sancho comes on, sit down. Sitting everybody down. And forget about what he was doing to Casemiro. It was an absolute embarrassment. It was an absolute embarrassment what we saw tonight. And some of the United people are coming up. I mean, already, to me, honestly, from where I was sitting, I'm between the tunnel and the dugout, and they're shooting towards the east stand. And when I saw Onana, so I'm going to have to take back the praise because he would have cost us a penalty tonight and it would have cost us the equalizer. He came for the ball and wiped the guy out. So I don't know why he wasn't given. I don't know what he said on your TV, guys, what the commentator said, why the VAR said he wasn't given. But that's the clearest penalty you're going to see any day, anytime. He wiped the guy out, knocked him out.
That wasn't a pen, Nuruddin.
How was it not a pen?
I don't think that was a pen either.
Yeah,
how did he not get the ball? He didn't get the ball. He wiped the guy out.
I think a couple of things. In that instance, that situation, there were three players who first of all crashed into each other. No. Listen,
you can't separate it. Onana left his area to come for the ball, didn't touch or anywhere near the ball. Instead, he literally slammed the guy's neck and head.
Yeah, the context I'm providing is that if it was Onana versus a Wolves player one-on-one.
Read this here. No, Sean, read this here. Gary O'Neill says this is the referee association. John Moss spoke to him after the game and had admitted Wolves should have had a penalty and it was a clear, obvious error.
But now are we going to take the word of the PGMO?
Of course we are.
One referee disagrees with
I don't want to
another
argue about this. Listen, I don't want to argue about this. That to me, if that was the other end, that to me, I would be absolutely spitting kittens tonight. I'll be spitting kittens tonight. If that was not given for us, if their goalkeeper came and wiped Rashford out like that, I'd be spitting effing kittens. Honestly.
But can I ask you a question though? When have you ever seen those given though?
No, I have seen that given. I have.
It can be given. That's what I'm saying.
I have seen that.
It's one thing if he punched the guy. But
listen, guys, we can be biased. This is a United channel, but I promise you, if that was for us, that happened to one of our players, that stadium is going to explode.
No, but that's
penalty you'll ever see anytime. The keeper wiped the guy out. He was nowhere near. Listen, yes, if he got a touch of the ball, you could say. If he came, touched the ball, wiped the player out afterwards, that's not a penalty. He was nowhere near the football. Nowhere
to be seen. Did the Wolves player win the ball though?
Say that again?
Did the Wolves player win the ball?
Yeah, he didn't. Like it was a question. But
no, he didn't. But he wiped him out.
Oh, but then that's a 50-50. That's a coming together then.
It was like a 25, more like. That's what I'm saying. There were four players involved in that clash. Onana just came out. He had his eyes on the ball clearly. If it was a penalty or a red card decision where you know that the goalkeeper is actively taking out the player. So when attacker's coming towards you, last man, you're the last line of defense. Only you and the striker. You're not even looking at the ball. You just clear somebody else. Red card, definitely penalty. But this one, it was a clash in the box. There were three players already involved. Onana now wins, and I like it very strong of him. So definitely, if the tables were turned, we would have been biased and everything. But it was like again, it's just a distraction. Right? Let's focus on the fact that our midfield looks non-existent, like non-existent midfield. That is the core issue. I don't understand what's going on in training.
Who's the player? Was it Cunha? Cunha was running through.
He was just strolling.
Time and time again. They were running from one side to another. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But that's what I told you guys. That's what I told you guys. I told you guys that if you have a good solid midfield, that's exactly what it looks like. You do give yourself a lot more chances of winning games if you have a midfield like that. We don't have anything. Personally, if you're getting bullied by Wolves at home, right now, what are you expecting against other teams if you're playing with that sort of midfield? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Wolves would be in the bottom now. Why was missing Mount? Why was missing Mount our first signing? Oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah,
big up. But no, listen, big up. we wasted money on Mount. He was never the player we needed. Ten Hag gonna have to answer for that. It's not a penalty. The ball was gone before Onana hit the players. Okay, fair enough. If that's what they said, fair enough. But to me, if it was the other way around, I'm spitting kittens. But go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
Gosh.
Yeah, no. I was just saying that, like for me personally, I think Mount is supposed to be understudy for Bruno. So I don't want to see Bruno playing 90 minutes all day, every day. It should be back and forth, both of them competing for the starting position. But somebody else needs to play next to Casemiro. Somebody needs to
the guy was called Casado. The guy's name was Moses
Casado.
And I kept screaming about it, and people were telling me, stop overhyping it. I kept screaming and saying, Manchester United first signing would have been somebody that to take over some games to play alongside Casemiro. Because in midfield, the way that he takes too many risks, right? This is the reason why. The reason why we get bullied and teams break on us, because with that 3-1, when we're in possession of the football, there is two of the centre halves and the left back. Usually Wan-Bissaka is in their area, in way before. So we commit so many players up the pitch. When they get out of that first press, then they're running our back three. That's what it is. They're breaking on our back three. And the press was absolutely non-existent tonight. The way Bruno was jumping out tonight, out of the middle, into some sort of press, like what he used to do with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he was doing that. It was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. And it's a tactical thing, because we do this 3-1. We defend with this 3-1. And you cannot do that. You have to press the ball and keep the ball, hemp him in the corner, and get everybody squeezing the play to win the ball back. That's what they kept doing. Wolves tonight, they kept breaking out of that press, and then they're straight running at our back three.
Yeah. I mean, you're 100% correct, Nuruddin. Like with your diagnosis of the situation. I personally, one of my most controversial opinions as a United fan is that I happen to think our team is good enough to be third or fourth. I think that's as good as this team is. In order to compete for the league, in order to compete for any serious trophies, we cannot do that with Bruno and Rashford as our most important players. They need to step up to a higher level, or we need to sign some other more quality players, basically. But I don't know what the hell Ten Hag is thinking. And if I open my eyes on Saturday morning and I see the same lineup against Tottenham, I'm gonna be very afraid.
You know, let me say this about the whole what you said, Nuruddin, about the Casemiro thing. Till today, nothing brings me more nightmares than when Fabrizio Romano reported that it was in Manchester United's hands to sign Moise Caicedo for 5 million euros. 5 million euros. The same.
I was talking about it.
But we could also have signed Ronaldinho that year. I don't know if I like that whole. We should have signed Caicedo at 5 million.
Listen, at the end of the day, it was Antonio Valencia. He liked United. Antonio Valencia is one of his heroes from the same country. Antonio Valencia and Manchester United. And there's a Latin American football expert who's an English guy based in Rio de Janeiro. His name is Tim Figgery, and he was talking about the negotiation between Manchester United, and Manchester United wanted him. And there was a buzz about him, and we're thinking, and he said this guy is going to fit into the English Premier League because he's a physically really good for a young guy. He's really good. At the end of the day, that's why he's gone for that money.
I don't understand.
And if you ask me, Yasser, how many videos that I've done on here to talk about Caicedo, I said it'd be that guy. Well, we'll see what he better at Chelsea. Chelsea definitely need him. He's going to play next to Enzo Fernandez, and then we're going to see what happens. But listen, you watch the game on television. You got all of the replays. I didn't get any of the replays. I just saw the penalty. I think it's a penalty to me. But at the end of the day, penalties it can be objective. You know what I mean? It's an opinion base. It's a penalty. It's not a penalty. At the end of the day, I think we got away with one. But honestly, I look at that and think the tactics need to change. If he forget even the starting lineup, right? I'll come to you, Lesso. If Ten Hag thinks we can do that, to me, the players look fatigued. You've heard me talk about it, saying that I really hope the fatigue doesn't carry on to next season. We went to America flying everywhere, here and there. and the players look fatigued. Or is it me? Am I imagining that? Rashford looked like he was partied. He partied all summer. And there wasn't that much break. There wasn't that much break between at the end of last season and the new season starting. There wasn't that much of a break. Go ahead, Lasso.
No, definitely. Definitely, I'm actually with you on that. We did say that last season, the fixture pile list was actually ridiculous. So it's only natural that we're going to see a drop in performances and in quality overall. From a lot of players. It was just sickening to see the World Cup being played around that time of the year. It's really they really don't care about the players, to be honest, in that regard. So so that has factored in, unfortunately. But I would also say that it's two sides of the coin. It's fatigue, and as well as I think it's just bad organization all around. From preseason you could see what we needed to do. We got in transfers half in, half out. We've only got like one player that came in, two. In fact, two. It's Mount and Onana who got integrated into the team. Højlund is when we got him late. He didn't even play a single preseason game for us, so he's gonna come back a little bit rusty. We also got we also haven't completed our signings all around. It's practically the same team from last season, but we're a little bit thin, a little bit thinner than we were last season in midfield, funny enough. But we also haven't addressed the striking position. It's still Rashford up front. So I mean, it's a combination of a lot of things. We also had the whole Mason Mount thing taking over the squad. The team is a shambles, man. I mean, all round. I was never confident going into the season, to be honest, because everything was all over the place. We talk about the fitnesses, we talk about the transfers, we talk about the club takeover, we talk about the whole Mason Greenwood thing. We talk about there's so many. Like Man United was just the only thing that was keeping these newspaper people going. And we're just not organized. From top to bottom, we're not organized, and you can see it filters through the players, it filters through management as well, it filters through the entire club. So it's a lot of things, man. And these players, apparently Varane was also complaining about that. They just don't care about the players. They do with this ridiculous fixtures lists and overworking players and not caring. It does affect players as well, funny enough, but it's not an excuse. Personally, for me, I feel like we also uncoached. We're still uncoached well. We are not a balanced team all around. I can still see it. What is our plan with Højlund? We're gonna bring him into the team. We're gonna bring Højlund into the team, and then what? How are we gonna create goal opportunities if our front line is not even in cohesion?
We don't connect out of the pitch. We don't connect. In the first half, the only thing that I remember was one shot from Marcus Rashford on the angle. The goalkeeper came and closed it down. Big up to you, Jarvis. Jarvis, how did you see that game? Because honestly, when I was watching it, I'm like, is it that we traveled a lot in pre-season and we look way off it? We look way off the pace. Is it that Wolverhampton are our bogey team? I looked at Gomez and Nunes, absolutely budded us. Cunha was beating our press and then running at our back three all day, every day. If they would have had a goal scorer, they missed sitters. Some chances was really like sitters. That's what they missed. They missed sitters. Other aspect of it, I saw the challenge from Onana and I was praising him on Saeed's match reaction afterwards with Saeed on Saeed TV, by the way. Go and check it out, people. And then I'm like, is it that Casemiro was aging every 10, 15 minutes, 10 years? By the end of the game, he looked like he was 95. He needed a walking stick to get off the pitch or a wheelchair to wheel him out. But Jarvis, how did you see that game? Because Onana, I think, made 6 saves tonight. We've had the most 23 shots against us since 2005. That's what we had. There's 400 of you in here. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. You're going to get it real and raw here. You're going to get a read on it. But I don't want to go and overreact. And there are a lot of people already overreacting, get Ten Hag out and all of that kind of stuff. But for me, I want to put the context. I said I wasn't sure about Mason Mount. I did say that. But actually tonight, he looked like he had energy. Bruno, no energy. Casemiro, no energy. Rashford, forget about it. Anthony just keeps cutting back, doing these silly things, not giving the ball. Just same thing I expected. And I was quite disappointed with Garnacho's performance, but that's his first start. You know what I mean? First start. And I thought he gave the ball away a lot. But Bruno was shocking, right? Luke Shaw was all right to a certain extent. Wan-Bissaka was our best player today. I thought that by far he was our best player. But go ahead, talk to me. Pick up everybody. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, you summed it up, but you saw it live on Old Trafford. You haven't seen the TV pictures yet, haven't you? Have you? So as I see it, the problem was always, for example, Martinez. He had one of his worst games today. He was holding the ball, he was standing on the ball, but he couldn't find anyone to play to because he wanted to play progressive passes.
To be fair, Jarvis, I was at the game and nobody was making any movements.
Yeah,
nobody was showing for the ball.
That's what I'm saying. But I think it comes to a structural problem because now we are playing more of a 4-3-3. You know, we have one holding midfielder and two number 8/10. So Mason Mount and Bruno were way too high on the pitch. So there were only Casemiro who was available, and it was hard to find Casemiro. So Bruno had basically no one to play to. So that's why he was looking like undecisive on the ball. And that's what was my biggest thing from the first half and the second half. There was the structure of the team, the 4-3-3. It didn't work at all. Casemiro, he was covering all the width of the pitch on himself, and he had the two number 8s high up, so the distance between the midfielders was way too much, and the stretch of the team was too much. So we didn't play as a unit. I see no. I understand that the players were knackered because they were all running by themselves. They never pressed as a unit. And you could see in the beginning, the first 10-15 minutes, people were running, they were trying hard. You saw Garnacho, he was following his man from one side to the other, pressing. But you know, you can't play football that way. That's how you play when you're an overeager teenager and you suddenly get your chance on the senior team. You run yourself empty in 10 minutes. So I didn't like what I see, and I really see that we miss a ball playing midfielder. We have been talking about Frankie de Jong all the time, but some type of player who's like that, who can take the ball, turn around, pass it sideways, dictate the tempo. Because now, when Bruno or Mason Mount got the ball, it was hurry, try to get it into attack on the first run they saw. And I'm sure Ten Hag is not happy with it. That's not the way he wants to play. He wants to play domination football. He wants to play possessive football. He wants to create overloads, but we have no chance creating overloads if we always rush the ball, rush the attacks. So that's my biggest take on the game.
Yeah, big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Big up to Khalees Ramadine Lassie, Chief Editor, United Real Therapy. Listen, we're over 415 in here watching. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Let people know the community. Here, we analyze all of the different things. Like, I keep going through it. Is it that Wolves are our bogey team? Is it that we players flying everywhere? US, hectic. There was absolutely players were bent out from last season. Could it be that? Could it be that Casemiro's left alone? Yeah, the 2 8s are high, but soon as they beat the first press, and tonight, Bruno, one of the worst games of Bruno's career as a Manchester United player. I thought he was shocking tonight. I thought Rashford was shocking as well. They just look like these guys have been partying. They've been hard at it. I'm talking about liquor partying, not just dancing. I'm talking about getting wasted. That's what they've been on. But big up to everybody. Love and light. Smash a like I said. You get it raw, real, and this is the realest channel out here. Trust me, it's the realest channel out here, because we're not gonna go too overboard, because whether in terms of Ten Hag and all this, but for me, this, when we are in possession and we have 3-1, defending with 3-1, that can't happen, especially with Casemiro, because he hasn't got the legs to get around. I'm telling you, tonight, every 15-20 minutes, it looked like he put on 10 years. Honestly, as the game got on, he was getting worse and worse and worse. And Gomez and that Nunes guy, who else played in midfield for them? The only guy I kept seeing was that number 8, Gomez. What an absolute player!
Yeah,
What a find.
Gomez, and Matias Nunes. But the thing you're doing is that for all of us who have played football, like fatigue is not only a physical thing; it affects your
It's
brain as
the
well.
mental as well.
Yeah, when if you're tired, you won't be able to pass properly. Your passes will be under hits. You will be sloppy when you're trying to get away the ball. I buy everything you said, aside from I don't buy the traveling stuff, the fatigue thing. I think this is just players who rolled up to the first game of the season thinking that it was all good. Wolves just sacked their manager. Everybody and the grandma who was predicting 3-0 comfortable victory for United and whatever. So I think the players too came with that mindset. Because I can accept the fluke goal. And you're talking about the penalty. Wolves could have scored 4. They had many chances where they basically walked the ball into our box 18 and somebody couldn't finish. They were faster than us. They were faster. They were first to every header, first to every second ball. They walked past Bruno and Mason Mount as if they weren't there. So I think this game had more to do with tactics and just player attitudes. Like 20 minutes into the game, Rashford had his head down. Again, I don't care what anybody says. Rashford cannot tell me. Having as a United fan all my life, having watched Tevez, Wayne Rooney, Ji-sung Park, Cristiano Ronaldo play on the left, right, forward, Nani play on the left, right, forward, you cannot tell me that Rashford can only play on the left, otherwise he's going to give us 0/10. I cannot accept that as a professional footballer. I just can't take that from Rashford. He has to do more. He has to do more than he's currently doing right now because he is the one leading the line. He scored 30 goals. I don't think if Rashford is listening, somebody should better tell him. He has not arrived yet. His career is just picking up, basically. And a lot of these guys are acting as if they have arrived. Like they have already, achieved a lot. And this is just them participating in the game. I was very disappointed. And I'm not quite Ten Hag out. But I think the manager, I'm going to go into each game, assessing each game on the merits of it. Because I think I could have predicted, and we could have all predicted that the midfield of Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno will get overrun. So I don't know what the hell Ten Hag is thinking of when he keeps playing the same
But it's
team.
not even that, Sean. It's the positioning of the players, like Jarvis explained. As a whole team, when we're on the ball, we do this 3-1 where we commit so many players forward, and then if the press is not right to win the ball back, we're done.
No, but that's part of the supposed game plan from Ten Hag. His whole idea is that to make up for the deficiencies or whatever, push them up the pitch. You understand? So win the ball back, and even if they beat the press, basically there shouldn't be as much space as there was. Too much space between our defense, Casemiro, and the attack. So Matias Nunes had at least 50 meters to run. He could run basically from his box 18 to our box 18 without anybody stopping him. There shouldn't be that much space. It should be a lot more compact, basically, that we play. But again, it's never going to work. And I can tell you that for free. It's never going to work, Bruno, Mount, and Casemiro. So anybody we play, even against Luton Town, as far as we play that midfield 3, they will look world-class against us.
Okay, big up to you. Well, 1 second, Yasta. Let me just get the super chat and I'll get you in. Big up Mupsi TV. Big up for the super chat, brother. Always love. Unana man of the match. Garnacho not starter, but must be if he wants to be world class. Bruno worst game in the United shirt. It will be a long season if we don't improve. Tell me about it, bro. Tell me about it. Let me just get the super chat. Golden Blur says, Rash, big up for thanks for the super chat, bro. He's got me going crazy. You got a photo of me looking mad there, bro. Big up Golden Blur. He says, Ratchet doing what he usually does, running into people, 100%. Go ahead, Yasser.
No, I wanted to ask a question. Because Jarvis said something which I think we all seen. And was this your name is Sean? Yeah. So if Ten Hag wants to play the way we saw him play today, where you have pretty much that gap in between Casemiro and both the 2 8/10s, do you think the players we have they can play that way? Do you guys think we can play that way? Do you think?
Oh, who do you have in mind when you say that?
I mean, the way the team is constructed, like the way this 11 was out today. I guess Roseman Hoyland will eventually come in So you're going to see Rashford back on the left. That 11 there, which I think, in my opinion, is going to be the 11 that Ten Hag chooses. Do you guys think we can play that type of football?
No, and let me just real quick. No, because for me, the most important part of the way we like to play, two very important elements of our play: the wing backs and the wingers. Sorry, three: wing backs, wingers, and the strikers. Because in this type of position football that we're playing, you get the ball with your back to the goal. You have to hold the ball, move a bit, and look for somebody to pass it to. Anthony is great at doing that. Anthony is fantastic at holding onto the ball and finding a teammate. But the other guys, Rashford on the left, Garnacho on the left, Rashford in the middle, hot potato. They don't want it. Like they don't want the ball, and it's going to be difficult basically for us to play the type of football that we want to play, which is why we were only having 15 minutes of fame last season. All our success last season came from 15, 20-minute intervals in games where we blitz teams and score 2 to 3 goals. If we want to have consistent football, we need to have people that are better on the ball. And it's not the easy scapegoats that we're all talking about, like Maguire, McTominay, and De Gea, who thankfully are no longer in the team. But passing on to Jarvis, let me just hear his thoughts too.
Yeah, big up. Go ahead, Lasso. Listen, Lasso, where do Manchester United go from here? Where do we go from after that performance? Because that was a daylight robbery. That was a daylight robbery. Let me just get the stats up for people, yeah, who don't know what the stats are. The stats are this. This is the most interesting stat. Manchester United have conceded 23 home shots in the Premier League for the first time since 2005. Gary Neville here takes it. Wolves were absolutely fantastic. Manchester United midfield was non-existent. It emptied. That would have been a real worry for Ten Hag. He carries on here, Gary Neville. So Gary O'Neill says, John Moss spoke to him after the game and admitted the Wolves should have had a penalty, and it was clear, obvious error. Go ahead, bro. So, would you think it was a penalty? Yes or no, bro? Do you think it was a penalty? Let me just get this super chat quickly. They paid 33 million to come and get Amrabat, but Mount was a ghost. I forgot he was on the pitch. That midfield was bad, except for Kaz. Bruno, Mount, trash. You should keep Fred and Tony. Big up the lesson. I swear to God, listen, big up Siobhan, big up Bill. I looked at them both, yeah. Big up Siobhan and Bill, my family. I looked at them both and I said to them, mate, we need Fred in here. I swear to God, we're missing Fred's legs, we're missing Fred's energy. And everybody around us started laughing. And go and check out Saeed TV as well, the match reaction to Saeed TV. Me and him were absolutely dying when we both looked at each other and said, we needed Fred tonight. Where was Fred? But go ahead, Leeson. Go ahead, bro. Where do we go from here? What do you think the solution? What does Ten Hag need to change?
No, man, 100%. Funny enough, funny enough, I think we, in a weird way, I would have actually have kept Fred for just this game, but he needed to go, man. He needed to go. In all real.
McFred, bring back that McFred.
So
we need some more legs in here.
Besides that, man,
we need some more legs in there. We need some more legs in here. Remember, we used to sing that song for you guys. Go ahead, Lezo. Go ahead.
So no, it's a problem now, man. Amrabat should have been through the door, if you really wanted him ready for the next game, he should have been through the door already. He's I don't know, man. Like what I fear, like I've always said, what I think really it doesn't matter, what I fear is that Ten Hag may actually move Bruno to the right against Spurs, man. It really is looking like that. So what I would prefer that we do, man. I mean, right now we have it's Casemiro in midfield. It's Mount. We can't play both Bruno and Mount. One of them has to sit on the bench. And the problem is there's no Maino. There's only who's available. There's only this guy who's available. There's only Eriksen who's available, and he shouldn't even be starting games. So our midfield is looking very, very shaky. I mean, as McTominay hasn't left yet. I mean, so guys, I mean, we may have to make do with one of the McFred, for one more game, because I'm telling you now, if we start Ericsson and Casemiro, we will get run down in that midfield, against Spurs. So it's either way, you have to do something, and it has to be the one who closes up the gap, unfortunately, for just that one game, because we're in serious trouble. I mean, who else are you gonna put in midfield, against Spurs? If you're not playing both Bruno and Mount. So I don't want to see, personally, I don't want to see Bruno on the right. So I'm
By
just
the
gonna
way,
I was gonna go for a safe option with McTominay in midfield alongside Casemiro. That's the only way we're going to get through the Spurs game. But if Amrabat comes through going forward, I think it should be him and Casemiro in midfield, and then maybe you get one of those Bruno and Mount fighting over their positions. That is the only way we're gonna get through the season, because otherwise I can see very bad results coming our way if we really don't take care of the midfield like we should. So, going forward, that's what I think Tenach needs to do. He needs to tighten up that midfield, because too many of these teams are getting too many chances. I mean, if Wolves can get so many shots, that's a team that's gonna finish bottom half this season. No offense, it is gonna finish bottom half, and if they can do that at Old Trafford, it's a disgrace. A better team
what worried me?
clearly gets 4 or 5 goals tonight.
That's 7-0. That's
So
Liverpool 7-0 all over again.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. What worried me tonight is the physicality. How
Exactly.
physically they bullied us. That was the most worrying thing. And I'll come to you, Sean, and I'll go to Yasser and then to Jarvis. Right? Where do we go here? Where's the physicality of this team? To play in Ten Hag's system, Jarvis knows. We talk about it constantly in here. You have to play with intensity. You have to play with lots of physicality. You have to play with aggression. All of that. They battered us in every metric. They were more physical. They played with more intensity. They played with more aggression. They won all the duels. We would all sit there looking at each other at Old Trafford going, what the hell is going on? But go ahead, Sean. How does he fix it? Who does he bring in this midfield? What do we do? Or does he have to abandon the principles? Because tonight, all the principles to play, rest defense, all that, get all of that, miss me out with all that BS. All of that went out the window tonight.
He doesn't have to abandon any principles. I think for me, and which is the point that I keep making over and over again, Ten Hag just has to ensure that if Bruno is playing trash, he doesn't play 3 games in a row playing trash. You drop the guy to the fucking bench. And if Rashford is playing rubbish, he doesn't keep playing rubbish all freaking like season long. He gets dropped. All I need to see from Ten Hag is that he ensures that the standards are kept at a certain level. So this physicality that you're looking for, it is a real thing, and I think that's why we're linked to Onana from Everton, possibly. So maybe that would bring some steel in the midfield, some spine. I think Højlund is a pretty physical guy too. So if he's playing up front, we will look stronger and better on the ball. But I think for me, this stuff of like winning second balls, winning duels, being first to tackles and all that stuff, I think has to do with internal desire. It has to do with the drive, the personal motivation of these players. And we've seen the same guys do it. We've seen them be aggressive, be energetic, be strong and tough in the tackle as well. But just some days they show up when they like, some other days they don't show up. I personally, I rate McTominay. I was listening to your podcast the other day with Bomaye and Mundo talking about how they don't mind seeing McTominay in midfield as well. I don't mind seeing McTominay in the midfield either, alongside Casemiro, if that's what we need to get us over the line to provide us some stability. But what I'm asking for from Ten Hag is just to ensure that anybody who's playing is playing because they're willing to give 110% for us. And today, it didn't look like everybody was giving 100%, not talking about 110. That's my main issue.
Big up. Let me go to Yasser. Big up, Saeed. Check out Saeed TV, man. The match reaction on there. I come on the gate crash. His match reaction outside Old Trafford. So big up to Saeed. Big up. Check him out all across all social media. Saeed TV. Make sure you do that, people. Yasser, how do we improve this? How do we go to Spurs next Saturday at 5:30 UK? How do we improve this?
Here's the thing. I think we have a madman as a manager. I think Ten Hag is extremely stubborn. You know, I was just thinking while you guys were talking. I think the gentleman down there, I forgot his name. He said that we cannot play with both Bruno and Mount. We gave Mount the number 7 shirt. We gave him so much money per week. Like there has to be some guarantees that he's gonna start the games. Like he's gonna be a part of the 11. Like I feel like, and also Bruno is our captain. So the, Ten Hag, I don't ever listen to what Ten Hag says. I just listen. I just watch and see what he does, the actions he does. He fought. So what the report said, he fought for Mason Mount. He went to Mason Mount's house and sat down with him and convinced him to come. And gave him the number 7 shirt, which he knows. Like let's not act like that's not nothing. That's massive. So I think I will be shocked and I'll be surprised if Ten Hag does not play the same 11 next game. I think that he might drop Garnacho and play Sancho. I think that's the only thing he will do. But we will 100% start with the same 11, and he will play the same exact way he did today. I think hoping that we're less sloppy, we're more energetic. Because that's just what I believe. I think he's a stubborn guy, and he's not got a guy that's quick to abandon what he wants to do. So I don't know. It just that's a bit that's worrying about it because I agree with Sean. I would love for him to drop Bruno if Bruno's not playing well. Hook him after 30 minutes and not play Rashford, but they will play. It seems like they will play regardless. So and that's just Ten Hag. Just he has his favorites. All managers do, and these are his favorites. And I just don't know. I mean, I do worry that the same midfield three will start next game. Maybe he plays McTominay. Maybe, but I don't see it, guys. I really don't. I don't see him. He's a type of manager that he has a vision and he's stubborn. He wants to see that vision, and unless we get absolutely destroyed by Tottenham, and that's one thing. We actually won the game today, and sometimes that could be a more of a negative than a positive. As shocking as that might sound, because we won the game, I'm afraid that he might see that as okay. We won the game. We're gonna be better next game, but
He knows. No, he knows. He knows by his comments. You can see by his comments. He's talking clearly about all his principles, the duels, everything. We got absolutely battered in every metric tonight. Jarvis, how does he get this right? Because we look physically, we look way off. Intensity, we look way off. Aggression, we looked way off. So how do we find it in 4 days?
Yeah, when it comes to Ten Hag, we gotta know. We saw it last season. He can be pragmatic if he wants. So last season he started. We lost a couple of games, and then it was Plan B. Let's play counter-attacking football, basically. Now we have seen this season he will try. He has ambitions. He's ambitious. He wants to play the 3-1-6 formation, all out attack, dominate every team. This in the beginning. Now he will try the thing with Mount and Bruno, but I'm sure that won't work because the problem with Mason Mount, he's not disciplined enough to be operating around the 15-yard circle around Casemiro to tighten the gap. And as soon as Ten Hag understands that, he will be more pragmatic. Mike Tyson said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So that's the same with Ten Hag now. He has a plan. He wants to make that plan work. But if we get punched in the mouth, I bet you that Ten Hag will change his plan and be more pragmatic until he got the players to play the way he wants. Because now he have only seen them in friendlies and in practice and drills. So he's not entirely sure how it will work. I'm also I also think he need to implement more discipline into the squad. It's not only Mason Mount who need discipline. Rashford needs more discipline to understand that his movements create space for others. It's the same with our wingers. You know, they left a huge gap for our fullbacks and left them exposed almost all the game. So Ten Hag needs to tighten up his ship and get more discipline into these guys. It's not only because they were knackered, they were tired, but I think they need to work on their mentality too. And I think Ten Hag will address that this week.
I mean, Manchester United look like they're going to sign Pavard. Honestly, I think he's passive. Lindelof came on tonight and absolutely dog shite. Absolute dog shite. Back to his Lindesoft. Absolutely got touched up tonight. He was shocking. Absolutely shocking. He was on Maguire settings when he came on. Absolutely running back to his goal, being the biggest shitbag other than stepping up to the ball. Absolute disgraceful. Disgraceful tonight. It must be said.
You know, Nurdin, you know how I do agree a little bit when people say that the game we were better when Eriksen and Sancho came on, but I felt like that was a brief period of time. After that, Wolves were bombarding us. We were holding on to dear life. Like it was attack after attack after attack. It was ridiculous. I think for since the 82nd minute onward till the +7, we were just holding on. So it's like, as much as I agree that people say, oh, and I think Ten Hag even said that, oh, when Sancho and Eriksen came on, the game changed a little bit. Yes, but then it was not that long, that period. It was like a brief period, and all of a sudden, we were just like hanging on. Once we got that goal, we were just hanging on for dear life.
Let me just get to this comment. Listen, we'll never win major trophies until the owners and the board have gone. We're not a serious club. We have people like Murta who are inept. Listen, I say it in a simple. Manchester United tonight have absolutely embarrassed themselves. If you were in a stadium, you knew what happened. There's a TV program called In the League of Their Own. They bought on Micah Richards after his former club done a treble. They brought him onto the pitch and Jamie Redknapp, and they took penalties to banter us. Jamie Redknapp came on with his Liverpool shirt. Micah Richards came on with his City shirt and a message to us. He took it off, message to the East, to the East Stand fans. We couldn't see what the message said, and they were bantering us. They took 3 penalties each. And it's a comedy called League of Their Own. Look it up if you don't live in the UK. League of Their Own. Who the fuck sanctioned that? Why are we a banter fucking football club? I thought people thought that I was taking the piss when I called the club a comedy FC. Tonight, it was the proper comedy FC. I swear to God, comedy FC was tonight. Absolute laughable. You guys didn't see it, obviously. It was halftime. Or did any of you guys see it? Did it show it in America? Jamie Redknapp.
I didn't see that. But I saw that Rio Ferdinand tweeted something at Micah Richards, telling him to like piss off or something like that. But yeah, no, but again, I don't want us to.
Who sanctioned that though?
No, like I mean, again, the club is a commercial entity. Like let's not be surprised that.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I am surprised. I'm sorry, Sean, I am surprised. I'm surprised. You don't let a former player from Manchester City who had just done the treble to come to Old Trafford to banter us.
No, so I agree with you on that.
Program.
I agree with you on that, but like some of this stuff, some of these journalists have access to the pitch. That's how in the final, Champions League final, they brought on Burna Boy to sing a song. Sometimes you might not have control over like who is actually on the pitch when the Sky guys are doing their pre-match hits or halftime hits, stuff like that. Not making any excuses. I don't want to distract us from the bottom line that if we see Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno in the midfield again, we're getting smoked. I agree that Ten Hag is crazy or whatever, but where his craziness stops is where Mount starts, essentially. And I cannot be waking up at 5:30 a.m. on a Saturday or Sunday morning to watch crap. I did that throughout last season. I've been doing that for the past however many years I've been in America. But I cannot be waking up at 4:30 a.m. 5:30 a.m. to watch nonsense. I want to support my team. I want to see her succeed, and I hope the manager better gets his shit together quickly.
Yeah, listen, I think we're all in a shock. I genuinely think we're all in a shock tonight, guys. I just do not want another humiliation or Arsenal away, Spurs away, or any of these big games. Because if we play like that, we go to Anfield, we're getting another.
7.
We're getting 10. We're getting 10 this time. If we go to the Etihad playing like that, we're getting fucking 15. I'm telling you, something has to fucking give. He can no longer go with this 6-1 fucking thing. Because even the only thing I would accept it is we're playing some scintillating football up the pitch. But we're not. We can't even fucking hold the ball. We cannot hold the fucking ball. We can't. I thought the first half was a snooze fest. But for it to go drastically worse was unbelievable. I know some of you thinking you're overreacting. It's the first game of the season. But these players need to wake the fuck up. We need to improve, and we need to improve quickly. However he does it, listen, however he does it, whether it's rotating, he cannot leave fucking Grandad fucking Casemiro, Simmer Frame FC Casemiro on his own in that midfield. He cannot be left alone in that midfield by himself. He cannot. He must not.
You know, you wanted to go into momentum against Tottenham next weekend. It's just weird. It's like we played this way. We barely survived today to get away with 3 points. I think at the end you saw this span to Varane. He had his hand up like that. And it's like, you know, I mean, this is the first game of the season at Old Trafford.
3 points is good.
I mean, look at the excuses from our captain. Look at these excuses from the fucking so-called captain. Big up Khalees from Medina Chivera United Real Therapy, by the way. Bruno Fernandes, it was difficult to play against Wolves. Yeah, we know that. They're bogey. It was difficult to prepare for this game. We had to change, with a change of a coach a few days ago. We looked at Bournemouth, what they're doing last season. Listen, Gary O'Neill.
Nuruddin, he said now Wolves are a bogey team. I looked at it in the past 16 games against Wolves, no team has scored more than a 1-goal difference, basically. So it's been 1-0, 1-1, 1-0, 2-1. Maximum, I think 2-0 we scored last season, by hook or by crook, basically.
Yeah.
So
and Bruno seems to think that we played well. Do any of you guys think we played well in the first half? Because when in the stadium, oh my God, it was a fucking snooze fest.
No, I think we had the ball, but with no purpose. I think we did a lot of side to side.
Of course, that's what we were doing. Jarvis explained it. But the thing about Martinez, he had no options. I swear to God, the front 5 or 6 were like fucking statues.
Yeah.
Statues FC. Is that what I'm gonna have to fucking come up with? I'm running out with FCs at the moment.
So we like, that's the thing. We don't make any movement. I don't understand that. Like, you know, one thing when you watch City play.
Yeah, you know what, Bruno? Go and watch that fucking game and look at your passing. Woeful. We played well in the first half. The momentum was on our side. We controlled the game. He's been on that Harry Maguire sauce. What is it? Listen, does having the captaincy. What
and
we're going these days?
We're going into the first game like this. And we're going into the first game like this.
In the second half, the momentum was in favor of Wolves, but we defended well, and that's the most important thing.
In some ways, it's better to have, like 2 seasons ago, we started 4-1 FC, 4-1, 4-0, 4-0 FC, and we crushed. In some ways, it's better to start average, find out what your problems are, address them in the beginning of the season, then pick up form and start running.
Listen, people call me negative, yeah? But I keep it real. I'm not lying to you. My expectations are low. A lot of people come for me. A lot of people come and be over here, say that I'm negative. But I promise you, to me, the fatigue from last season, I said it from last season. Jarvis will tell you, we had many conversations, and I kept banging on about the fatigue from last season. It was dangerous tactic by Ten Hag because it could affect us, and there was hardly any break. And having the World Cup in between as well, for having one of the most tiring seasons, then hardly any break. not using the squad whatsoever. And then it's affected because Marcus Rashford looks like the shadow. Looked like the shadow tonight. Running into fucking... I don't know what he's running into. Running into fucking walls tonight.
Running into 3 Wolves players. I mean, at this day and age, Rashford shouldn't be doing such. Rashford shouldn't be running into blind alleys anymore. We don't need that. That's 2019, 2020 Rashford. We don't need you taking the ball, running down to the flank, and not having anywhere to go. Personally, that's my opinion.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I genuinely think Benjamin Pavard is not aggressive. He doesn't play with a lot of intensity. He's fantastic on the ball. His positioning is decent, but he doesn't have the intensity or the fucking aggressivity and the physicality we need in the Premier League.
But he's not coming to start now.
And if he thinks that he can come and play centre half, not a fucking chance. And he doesn't have he's not quick either.
Yeah.
You know one thing though, one thing I was hoping this season was we start well, we win our first couple of games, because I think one thing is very hard to when you lose your first 2 games like we did last season, that's 6 points you drop and that you're never getting back. If you start winning games early on, then there's always going to be a period where you're not going to do well. So you had that cushion to fall back on. But I don't know. Even though we won the game today, I don't know. It's very, very, especially the run we have, where we have like Arsenal.
I'm getting propositions here, people. I'm getting propositions. I can't even say it. You see, I lost my voice. Trying to that last 10, 15 minutes. I was trying to lift the players, but here we go. Pick it up, Nicola. Hey, Nuruddin, are you single? Hey, it depends who's asking. It depends who's asking.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, can I say something? I see people now. We always think about the last 90 minutes we saw, and everybody's saying now Bruno is suddenly crap. He's the worst player that happened since Harry Maguire.
But that was his worst game. Do you admit that, Jarvis?
Yeah,
that was his worst game tonight.
Well, but it's complicated. You know, when we talk about football, everything is complicated. It when it comes to Bruno and Mason Mount.
Jarvis, sometimes it's not that complicated. Sometimes it's simple. It was a dreadful performance.
But Bruno is used to operate in a free role, like the number 10. That's more of a free role. He doesn't have much defensive responsibility, and now he plays in an 8, and he doesn't have the freedom he needs to be that creator, because he always needs to chase the ball. We saw it on the Ragnick when he tried to play the 4-2-2 system with Bruno in it. It didn't work for Bruno at all. So he needs that freedom. So if we want to utilize Bruno Fernandes for the player who is and get the best of him, we need to move him back into the 10 and let him play in the free role as he's used to. And Ten Hag needs to realize that really fast if he wants to get Bruno going. We saw it today. You know, Bruno was 3rd last on the goal, and he did a magical pass to Wan-Bissaka. That's what you get from Bruno. He can do magic. But of course, today was a bad game. But I'm not buying that he's a crap player like everybody.
No.
Let's say
no. We're talking about today's game, Jarvis. It's a match reaction. It's just one game. We're talking about today's game. But the thing is, we need that number 8 to be closer to Casemiro, fill that gap, and leave Bruno from all that defensive responsibility. Let him be the creator. If he wants him to be the creator, we have to let him be the creator. That's my opinion. Yeah, listen, big up to everybody, man. Listen, big up Khalifa Medine Lassie. He says, we can't play possession football. Some of the players in our squad can't do it. Hence, learning to counter-attack system, winning the ball high up, 100%. You spot on there. And I think that's not going to work. That's not going to work because when we lose the ball, we're left too open with the way the setup is. Listen, I can't believe it. We've had 400 people in here consistently, and we've only got 160 likes. Some of you guys are taking the piss. Absolutely taking the piss. But big up to everybody. Love and light. Smash a like on the video on your way out, people. I've got to get up early tomorrow, man. It is what it is, and I can't even watch the game again. I've got to go tomorrow. I'm going to doing first day training tomorrow, so and then we need to get there. We need to travel to get there. So big up to everybody, love and light. Big up to, it was good to be back. Good to see everybody in the stadium. Big up Sol as well. Sorted him out. Finally got in. Met another nice United fan called Joe from Cyprus for sorting our little my friend's son out. Solito. Big up Solito. Honestly, he would have been heartbroken tonight if we would have lost. But thank God, at least we got the 3 points for Sol. And big up to Joe for sorting Sol out with a ticket. Love and light, people. Smash a like on your way out. Let me just get the people so you know where to follow people now. We got our Jarvis here.
Yeah, Jarvis Cocker, Baldy77 on Twitter or X as it's called now. And you can find me on the MUFC Realist TV.
Yeah, go and check him out there. And also check, let them know where people can follow you, bro. Big up Yasser, all the way in the US. We got international tonight. We've got 2 US, South Africa, Norway. I'm in the UK. Brilliant. Go ahead, Yasser.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is YUFC TV, and I go on Twitter, Press_YAZ. That's my Twitter handle. Yeah.
You can find Sean Thomas at Sean Thomas, and go and check out the podcast, the geopolitical podcast that they do. It's how we see things.
Most recently, we discussed the coups going on in Niger and West Africa. So if you're interested in geopolitics and that kind of thing, give us a shout out.
It's called How We See Things. It's called How We See Things. How We See Things. So go and check it out. Is it called? That's how it's called, Sean. How We See Things.
Yeah, big up the reading. Yes, that's what it's called. Yeah, How We See Things.
How We See Things. Go and check it out. Big up to Lesso Football TV. Go and check him out. He's a recording artist. If any of you want to collaborate, music man from Southern Africa. I love the music from Southern Africa. I'm in love with that music. That feel it's inside me. It's that spirit of that music. So go and check him out. And go check his YouTube channel out as well, Lesso Football TV. Big up to everybody. We'll have to analyze this game maybe more. We might have to have a call-in show for people to have their say during the midweek. But love and light, people. Look after yourself. Do you want to say anything, Lesso?
No, big up to the panel once again, and big up to you for letting me come on as well. And I've had the therapy, man, and I'm feeling much more better than I was before. After the game, it was very terrible, and I'm glad we're all good. I'm glad we're all healthy and yes.
Yeah, listen, big up the Lietson. Sorry, brother. Honestly, I only saw this now. Your message now. Next time, just message me on Twitter. If you want the link, just send me a DM on Twitter and I'll send it to you. Love and light, people. Take care. Thank you for everybody with the super chats. Love and light. Look after yourselves. Absolutely embarrassing. Wolves have spent nothing but had a new manager for not even a week. We got slapped. Ten Hag's tactics signing stink. That's what it is tonight, people. But love and light, people. Look after yourselves. It is what it is. We move, people. We move. That's all we can do. 175 likes, not even 200 likes, and we had over. We had over
206 likes. 206.
Okay. Oh, brilliant. There you go. 206 likes. Love and light, people. Big up to you. Justin, 30 million deal acquire Harry Maguire is now understood to be on the balance with West Ham impatient and the length of the time taken. Wow. My guy, what is to stay? Eh? My guy wants to stay. Dangerous game here.
For what? Is he gonna be? Is he really gonna go on the Phil Jones path?
Listen. It is what it is. But love and light, people. Take care. We broke it down for you. I hope this has been your therapy. United Real Therapy. This has been what? Raw, Red, Realist, Pod, Match Reaction. Check it out, people. Go and check out Saeed TV. I went and crashed his match reaction. So go and check it out if you want to get some laughs. But love and light. Look after yourselves. And we'll see you in the next one. I've been your host, Mr. Structure. Win, lose, draw, Glazers out, Bankers out. Big up to everybody who protested against the Glazers. Big up to everybody who took a leaflet for the next protest against Nottingham Forest. Love and light to everybody. Take care. 3 points. We got away with one. massively got away with one, but 3 points. That's all it will say in the history books, people. It won't say how United played. It will just say 3 points. Take care. Love and light. Peace.